What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and I wanted to make this video about two firearms. I've already reviewed them. I did the shooting review for the SD9 2.0 Absolute Tac Driver. I also made a video that did very well with the Stoeger STR9 Subcompact. Now, these are two great handguns that I just got back from the range with, and I just thought I would revisit them because we are here about 6 months later, no issues, no problems, and I think it's the perfect time to go back over these handguns, right? But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Let's get into it. The Stoeger STR9 Subcompact is my favorite budget-oriented pistol. This is my favorite. I actually like it a little bit better than the Micro Compact because I like Glock 26s, and this is basically a Glock 26 clone. Now, what makes the Stoeger series so impressive is all the magazines are interchangeable. The double stack handguns like this, the compact and the full size, as well as the Micro Compact. Now, obviously, safety checked and cleared. This is actually the mag from the Micro Compact. So this right here is 13 plus 1, 14 rounds. That'd be like a SIG P365 taking SIG P320 mags, or the Glock 43 taking Glock 19 mags, or the Glock 43X taking Glock 19 mags. You rarely see something like that. Now, I guess the Canics do that. That's fine. But the Stoegers are all interchangeable throughout the whole entire line, which is absolutely amazing, especially with that new Stoeger tactical model, or the X Combat or whatever. We're going to be reviewing it over here on this channel. We're actually going to be torture testing it. It comes with a lot of features, a nice price tag, and we're going to be torture testing the X Combat. Check it out if you guys get the chance. Awesome looking firearm. Now, this Stoeger right here has some things I love about it. Just a couple minor things that I would change that aren't too serious. Let's get into it. Now, I've seen these as low as $230. I picked mine up for a little bit more than that, but still something I'm willing to pay. The Taurus G3C is a great handgun, in my opinion. It is awesome. It fits right in with this talk. So don't think I forgot about the handgun. I just got back from the range with these two, so I just wanted to go over these ones again. The G3C is a great handgun. But the Stoeger series is really making a comeback. Now, Stoeger is a Benelli company. There's a whole umbrella of different firearms, brands, stuff like that, that are all under, Benelli or whoever else owns that, right? Therefore, Stoeger is included. Now, Stoeger is mainly known for their shotguns, but they have entered the handgun and defensive carry market, which I'm very excited about. The more options, the merrier. Some handguns you might like, but just can't shoot well, don't feel right to you, have issues. So the more stuff out there, the better. So no one should be complaining. This handgun took a Glock 26, thought about all the issues with the Glock 26, and fixed them. For instance, gave you a rail. Another thing, gave you texturing. The Stoegers have the best texturing. The Micro Compact has better texturing than the Subcompact and the full size and stuff like that. But the texturing is great. It's where you need it. You need it to wrap around. Like, look at this. My hand sits on all this texturing, right? All this texturing. There's a little spot without it, but it still feels really good in the hand. On top of that, it takes down like a Glock. Takes a Glock pattern sights, I believe. Actually, I don't think they do. Never mind on that. These do not take Glock pattern sights. Sorry about that. But I believe there are some sights that actually work with this. I don't know if it's SIG or whatever the case may be. You can look it up. But these did not come with tritium sights. The Micro Compact, they do offer tritiums. I know the X Combat comes with fiber optics, so there's a lot of ways you can go with this. Forward serrations, rear serrations. The Micro Compact is a better finish, but the finish on this actually isn't that bad. I thought it would be much worse, but it actually isn't. Couple scratches here and there, not a big deal at all. Ergonomically speaking, for how small this handgun is, it really fits my hand well. I get about 2.5 fingers on it, 10 plus 1 setup, Glock 26 size, and it feels really good in the hand. Big open trigger guard, so this will not fit Glock 26 holsters, and that is one of the biggest thing about Stoeger is they do not have a ton of aftermarket holster support, and that's where I come in. My buddy and I are going to be releasing holsters, and we're going to cover a lot of the models that do not have the support so that you guys, if you do like something like this, can go out and get a nice holster that's actually going to function. Everything functions on these handguns. Really nice mags, good quality Italian-made mags. Racks relatively easy, very smooth, very clean. Tolerances are very tight. Very tight. Everything is nice. Takes down like a Glock, like I said. Slide stop works great. I don't know if it's the best quality slide stop, but no problems with it so far. It locks back. It releases. Some Rugers for this price point or even more expensive do not release the slide. Some Smiths are very stiff. This, everything functions. And if you release the slide using a slide stop, you'll love this slide stop. It's like a built-out one that a lot of people pay extra money for on certain handguns, especially Glocks. Like I said, awesome texturing. You're going to have a very hard time getting a holster with a light to fit this rail because they're already lacking in holster support, but you can still make it work. You can go to a custom holster maker, whatever the case may be. The trigger is one of the things about this handgun that stands out, as well as that mag release. The mag release is really well protected. I know some people with the Glock 26 have issues ejecting that mag. This, you will not have that issue with. But here's that trigger. So much better than a Glock trigger. I mean, it's so clean. There's nothing. There's no sponge. There's nothing. It's about 5 pounds. It feels a little Glockish on the break. Cleaner, crisper, nice reset, kicks back, strong, very tactile. You feel it for when you're ready for that next shot. You're not going to be short stroking it or anything like that. It's dang near impossible with this trigger. So an awesome, awesome defensive trigger. Is it a race trigger or a competition trigger? Of course not. This is a $230 to $300 handgun. Stainless steel guide rod. You get what you get. Awesome. Been 100% reliable through thousands of rounds. Not a single problem. Very, very minimal wear. Awesome handgun. Next up is the SD9 2.0. I got this for $299 from my local gun store. And I will have to say, when you compare these two, this feels cheaper. 100%. Everyone agrees. I had my buddy shoot it today. They said it felt a little bit cheaper, but it doesn't always translate over to its performance, right? The grip feels cheap. The stippling feels cheap, but actually feels decent. Like you're going to get good grip, but it feels rushed, or I don't know what the right word is. It just feels cheaper. Awesome memory pads. Comes with a rail. You're going to have a much easier time finding holsters for this, as I believe it fits the other SD9s, the VE, stuff like that holsters, right? This is the upgraded model. This is the new release. This has 16+1 capacity in a stainless mag, but as you see, there's not really a big kick out. You know, it does its job, but not massive, but not the biggest deal in the world. Mags are not your average Smith mags. I want to know who made these, because Smith & Wesson makes really good mags, and these are just different quality. They're not as good. I'm just being real. Does it affect the performance? No. This thing is running flawlessly. The finish I love. A great finish for a budget firearm is huge for me. Tauruses fail miserably with their finish. The Stoeger is pretty decent. The daggers are okay, but the wear is very minimal on this handgun. I mean, it's dang near flawless. And if you know me, I love stainless steel, so this is right up my alley. The barrel is a little bit of wear. That's typical Smith & Wesson wear. It gets these like vertical lines on the side of the barrel, and then typically you have rubbing right there. It's a little different than the Glock Smile wear and stuff like that, but relatively minimal wear for... But you know what's interesting? Look at that. Sorry, I just noticed it. Look at the little micro, dents. That is really interesting. It's almost like there was gunk on it, and then the slide, reciprocated and caused those. I don't know if it's a soft barrel or... I don't know. I'm going to have to look more into that. Once again, though, it's ran 100% flawlessly. Sights, I don't like. At least on the Stoeger, they give you metal sights. They're not the best, but they give you metal sights, 3 dots, right? These, I believe, are polymer in the rear. You're going to dent those, break those. They're fine for a budget firearm, right? And I think the front is a different material. I think the front's metal. I haven't confirmed it if the front's metal. I feel like it is, and I feel like the rear is not. So, I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated. Awesome forward serrations, rear serrations. Love the look of this handgun. It looks great. I love it. Next thing, trigger. It is not the Shield Plus trigger. It's not the M&P trigger. It is not the new flat face trigger. It is the look to it, but a much different pull. It is heavier, longer, and it gets spongy right there. See that? It's not a false wall, but it's like it changes sponge, creep. You see that? Let me show you again. And my buddy was actually talking about that. I like using other people as examples because it's not me. And when they say something similar or that validates what I felt, then I like it. Dry or live fire, you don't feel any of this. It just shoots. It's a shooter. It's a tack driver. I have a shooting review on this. Check it out. My grouping is like this. I don't know. We were probably 25, 30 feet. Grouping like this. First time shooting it. First mag. Relatively fast shooting. I wasn't mag dumping, but I wasn't sitting there going boom. Boom. It was more like boom. 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 You guys can go check out the video. Absolute tack driver. Now, this is a little bit more accurate than this, but it's also a much larger handgun. But the Stoeger is extremely accurate as well. And I compare this to the Stoeger Compact that I have. That's basically a little bit smaller in all areas than this, but has it still Stoeger quality and is a great shooter. But that trigger, back to that trigger. So it's really weird. Look at this. See that? And then it goes more. Look at that. And then reset. So you can short stroke it a little bit, but for a $300 handgun, listen to the false reset. Not a big deal though. You don't really feel it. Like I said, while live firing, it's a very nice trigger, but it is not as good of quality as the M&P series at all. It's just not. This is a budget version. For $300, it's great, but for $350 to $375 for a Shield Plus, I definitely recommend that. But if you just want a nice compact size firearm, 16+1 capacity, a beater, a woods gun, a truck gun, a toolbox gun, whatever the case may be, you can't go wrong with the SD9 2.0. But I got to be honest over here, I have heard about some of these having trigger issues. Trigger bar problems, whatever the case may be, mine has not. It takes down like a Glock. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.